So let's add another layer to this. So we've talked about knowledge gaps, label gaps, we've talked about patient access and how this can help us navigate that. Let's add the value dimension to it, which we'll delve into further in a bunch of the other questions that we'll come to. But how do you expect these off-label communications to have an impact upon healthcare costs and formulary management?
So I could see that going either way, and it depends on the specific circumstance. The off-label communications that would come from potentially industry or others are likely to be focused primarily on drugs that are still on patent, for which there's still protection. There's very little benefit for a generic drug producer to communicate information about the drugs that they're supplying, even if it is on label. While there's a whole lot of reason that a drug company that has a drug on patent would want to promote both on-label and off-label indications. So there are biases here that enter into, again, the motivation for why a company or an organization might or might not want to communicate information about a drug.
Yeah. I think that the larger issue is that these individual communications, off-label communications by one manufacturer to a physician or a group of physicians are taken out of context of all the available therapies that exist. I'm just thinking in that, I think it was the Point Break trial showed that the combination of bevacizumab and, what was it? I can't remember. Anyway, the combination of two expensive therapies didn't produce a beneficial effect. And the folks at Dana-Farber said, well, we should stop using this. So even though they may have been promoted, I think the greater body of evidence suggests that there's no beneficial effect. So I'm not sure that the communication of off-label indications is going to substantially impact the practice of medicine. But I'm worried that if physicians take this out of context of what other regimens are available, that it could have a deleterious effect on patients when we have better evidence to support alternative therapies.